Welcome to Gentleman's Game, a place where you can talk, a place where we can talk about boxing and not be biased or not find so much hate. I decided to make my own little video or start upon this, new boxing media, and get this going for myself. Everybody's doing it. Why can't I do it? So I just decided to make a video on the upcoming fights on AJ and what's to be expected and what's going on with him. Right now, AJ sat down with JD Sports and he was analyzing his fight with Ruiz, the fight that happened on June 1st, the first loss. He was analyzing that fight, and we'll get more into that in just about in a second. But basically, I decided to just make a video, quick stream, start my own little channel and get it going. Hopefully it picks up. If you guys like it, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the notification button, like and share. Basically, this channel is going to be non-biased, but I will tell you, AJ is my favorite boxer. I'm just supporting my African brothers. I'm Nigerian, and I'm definitely gonna support them. I don't care. They need the support. Coming from Africa, and there's nothing over there, and we need to bring back the awareness of the talent pool being taken from Africa, or the talent not being acknowledged in Africa, and basically other countries or places just deciding to welcome that talent pool back into their nation. I've seen that over and over in Africa, and I feel like it's imperative that needs to be something Africa needs to check. Just in general. But I'll definitely make a video on that later on. But as of right now, the focus is Anthony Joshua, and I'll definitely be supporting him from here on. And I'm not gonna be biased about things. I'm definitely won't be biased about it. I'm gonna give my honest opinion. But at the same time, I'm definitely going to be supporting any of my African brothers, Lawrence Okele, Andrew Tabiti, there's a whole bunch more. A lot of these guys are out there, soccer players, same things happening, but I'm definitely going to be supporting these guys. The talent needs to be seen worldwide, and it needs to go back to Africa. They're not getting, the Africans is not getting enough recognition. Things are being taken from there, but not given back. All right. But I'm here to give a little analysis on AJ's thoughts, and AJ's giving his analysis while he's doing an interview with JD Sports. Let's go ahead and listen on about that.
Autopilot.
He's talking about his the match against Andy Ruiz, June 1st.
Undisputed. Today what we're going to be doing is going through your fight June 1st you had with Ruiz Jr.
Anthony Joshua, fight number 23 for the 29ers setting. AJ Sports.
There's been a lot of mystery surrounding this fight as a whole. So I want to ask you how you felt at certain moments and see if you...
They're talking about the mystery that's surrounding that fight. They're talking about what's that, the real Anthony Joshua, what was going on with him, why was he getting neck massages, why was he biting down on his gums. Everybody was talking about it. It was just a big hype, to see him get defeated by a nobody. But Ruiz is not a nobody. I mean, the guy has been fighting in the amateurs with such a lengthy career, fighting big guys, fighting guys like Anthony Joshua, his height, and just coming out victorious. I believe he has like 5 losses, and he just came off of another fight. But I believe that was the real Anthony Joshua, and it was the lack of preparation. There was so much surrounding that fight. But let's continue watching this. Let's continue hearing this little talk that's going on.
you can kind of almost relive it.
Yeah, no problem.
But before we get on to this, obviously you went to America.
Yeah.
You were in Miami first and then New York.
Correct, yeah.
How were things in the build-up to the fight?
In the build-up, things are as they should have been. Training's like a lifestyle for me, so I never have an issue with preparation.
That's one thing people don't realize. Anthony Joshua, when it comes to training, is 100%. When I tell you 100%, he trains extremely hard. He trains extremely hard. There was an interview where Eddie Hearn said he trains extremely hard, where he comes to the point where he becomes exhausted. Like the day of, when they're trying to do interviews with medias, when they're trying to do the announcements, when they're trying to do anything regarding the fight, he gets extremely tired and he just wears himself out and he doesn't want to do anything. And I could see that happening when somebody is overtraining, basically. That's one of the things I noticed about him. He definitely overtrains. All right, let's continue.
If you put me and Ruiz in a machine, 9 times out of 10 I should beat him, and that was just his night.
Yeah.
He got the win, and we get to do it again at the end of the year.
I've probably watched this fight like 10 times already.
Yeah.
Like everybody else, I watched that fight like 10 times too. I was just analyzing everything. One thing I did notice, before the fight started, when Wilder knocked out Brazil, I was like, the pressure is on Anthony Joshua, and I was 100% sure that the way he was fighting, whatever happened with Wilder in Brazil will affect Anthony Joshua one way or another, because the pressure will be on him. One, because if Wilder knocks out Brazil early, that pressure will definitely build up to get to Anthony Joshua. Like, he's going to have to outperform. Now he's got a guy in front of him that he doesn't want to fight. Now he's going to have to do something about that guy, But let's continue on. More on that later.
And I don't watch fights often. When I've seen the fight already, I kind of give it some time to marinate and I go back to it.
What's interesting with you saying that is, me beating Ruiz, you wouldn't have watched that fight again. So with this fight here, I feel like where I've been fighting for so many years, when I come into the boxing arena, it was like I was steamrolling through. So it was just, Josh was going to fight, boom, knock him out. Yeah. So from walking into a gym to 3 years later competing at the Olympics, from turning professional to 3 years later becoming world champion, it seemed like this was already written in the stars. But I think behind the scenes, it's like the efforts and the education and the mind training that it takes to develop these skills or capabilities to be in that position are tiring.
When it's all said and done, the fans, most of them, only see a few clips of you training and then fight night.
Correct.
They don't see the hard graft, the hard sparring. They don't see all of the background story. So to them, it's almost, or to a lot of people, it's almost like, oh yeah, AJ's fighting tonight, AJ's gonna win. But they forget there's someone there who's trained for you as well.
Yeah, who's waiting for their moment as well. And when it looked...
I believe that Andrew Ruiz has been training for Joshua, or has been waiting for his opportunity to fight Anthony Joshua. I did hear that he was the one who called Eddie Hearn about this. So I'm definitely 100% sure he's been waiting for this opportunity, analyzing Joshua, while AJ was analyzing other elite opponents. He had no time to watch Andrew Ruiz, but his name did come up when AJ was fighting, in his careers. When he first started, Andy's name did come up. AJ's uncle did say something about Andy Ruiz being the upset king, and sure enough, look what happened. Let's continue.
It looks easy. They'll never really truly respect what it is that you're trying to achieve. And even myself, when it's going pretty well, it is what it is.
Let's have it right. There's no easy fights when you're a unified heavyweight champion. There are fights that are probably easier than others, but you still have to train hard to make it look so easy.
My purpose for that fight was, am I fighting Wilder next? The purpose for that fight was, what is he doing next? It wasn't solely on winning that fight. Do you know what I mean? So this is quite an interesting situation we can talk about now, looking back on the result. So let's go for it.
From the most famous venue in the world for sports and entertainment, the Mecca of boxing.
Usually when the ring announcer's announcing you, you don't look quite like that, which was a little bit just within yourself. Do you remember how you felt?
You know, there's a lot of things going behind this, and AJ didn't look quite himself. You know, you gotta trust. As a fan, you know, we notice things because that's our favorite fighter. Even I said it. AJ did not look himself. But if the guy comes up and says that was him the whole fight, there was nothing wrong, you trust and believe his word. There was nothing wrong, and that was him. He got beat by a better man. And back to the drawing board, you know. The mission still stays the same, like he said, you know.
No pressure. There's no gain. There's no gain from me. I'm in America. I'm not being told to go there. It's not mandatory. We've just gone there because we wanted to do big things in boxing. And the good thing is, even though any of my fights you come to, and what I've learned, even though I lost that fight, it's still a massive defining moment in my career.
Massive.
Every fight that I think you come to of mine, you will always leave with something to cherish. But this fight, in terms of what it meant, there was no real gain in it. So beating Ruiz, I could be sitting here now and it wouldn't have meant as much to me as what it's going to mean to me to train for the rematch.
Were you aware of looking like that?
No.
It's mad.
Just felt so relaxed. Like, I know what I'm capable of doing. Yeah.
I was watching it and I was thinking,
I could definitely see that happening. I mean, I was a wrestler back in my days. When you have an opponent that you're not taking serious and you're overlooking your opponent, you know, there's someone stronger or, you know, there's someone better, and you're not focused on that opponent right then and there. All of a sudden, it turns out he was actually good, or you know, he had the best of you, or you know, he got the best of you that night, and that was basically on you. You know, overlooking your opponent, not taking them seriously, trying to get them out there early, get them out early. I definitely see that happening. I'm pretty sure that happens in sports all the time, football, soccer. It definitely happens.
he is either super relaxed or it's just like, or it could be one of those flat performances. But then round one came and everything looked fine.
Yeah, that's what I mean, because I know what I'm capable of doing. But in the terms of what the 1% are, they mean so much when you're at championship level boxing. Everything it meant to Ruiz winning is everything it didn't mean to me beating him.
Yeah. So he's coming in at 110%. This is his, he's just been thrown up.
Ruiz had absolutely nothing to lose and everything to gain from this fight. If I was Ruiz, I absolutely, I would have done the same thing. Put everything on the line. I'm dying in that ring. And Anthony Joshua had everything to lose and basically nothing to gain from this fight. Like I said, overlooking his opponent. That opponent was Ruiz, and Ruiz capitalized off that. And Anthony Joshua's bad night was Ruiz's amazing night. And the rematch is going to say a lot about Anthony Joshua. It's going to say a lot about his character. It's going to say a lot about if he wants to be here in this sport in general, if that money is already enough for him and he wants to call it quits. You know, if he does, I still support him. You know, I support all my African fighters. Stand up.
A lifeline. It's everything. And he has everything to gain, absolutely nothing to lose. You have, in truth, not much to gain and everything to lose. So it's hard. And when it's all said and done, you've been at the pinnacle of the sport for years, like winning the Olympics, going straight into like superstardom. So
now let's get it on. We're about to fight. The bell's gonna go, and it's like, all right, cool. Let me go in there and do what I know I can do best.
right off the bat, I'm rewatching this fight. You know, AJ's getting in close with Andy Ruiz, and Ruiz is just letting off those beautiful combos, pop, pop, on top of the head. What makes it worse is that Ruiz is short, AJ's tall, and he's going to clip AJ on top of the head. The way AJ was standing, stooping down to his fucking level, he was going to get clipped one way or another, right behind the ear, That definitely would have that definitely would have rocked anybody, especially with his combos, boom, boom, right, just one right after the other. Not body shots, combos right to the head.
So at this point,
boom, there we go. Ruiz letting off them combos.
But he's also a combination puncher.
Yeah.
At that point, I'm taking it, you're obviously like downloading some data. What are you thinking from that first 30 seconds of the fight?
You can't keep up with me with my feet.
That's absolutely true. AJ does have decent footwork if he's on his toes and moving around. If you look at it, he does have footwork depending on who the opponent is, or depending on how he trained for that fight. He does have an amazing footwork. It's rarely seen, but he does have it.
When you're throwing shots, he's obviously looking to punch with.
Correct.
Which makes it a bit harder, but at this point in the fight, after this little combination here, that doesn't land obviously, but it was whiskers from both of you. Did you think, okay, I have to be pretty careful with what I throw because he wants to return immediately?
I have to set my shots up in a way that whatever I throw out, I know if something comes back, I'm ready to defend. And it humbles the fighter who's trying to humble you. Yeah, exactly.
But having said that, you did still vary the jab upstairs and downstairs pretty well. And it seemed a little bit like business as usual.
Yeah, correct.
In a way, it was a very interesting first round, but still not much has happened yet. You're kind of understanding what he wants to do. He's trying to outthink you as well. Cool. So round number 2, he comes out with probably, I'm not sure if he comes out with more velocity, but he definitely starts letting his power shots go early. I think there was a double left hook he tried to throw. Yeah. His corner's probably saying, like try and apply some pressure or something like that.
Yeah. In the second round, I heard the crowd booing. Did you remember that?
I don't remember that.
Someone told me there was a fight going on in the arena. That's why. Debut in New York, the crowd's booing.
Okay. So, and
it seems like AJ's a guy that worries about his image, and he doesn't want a bad image, and I can understand that. He seems like a respectable guy and a gentleman at that. It seems like he cares a lot about how he performs. So I could definitely see that. It's in the back of his mind. He has to perform well. It can't be a shit show.
Going back to the corner after the second round, that's in your head. You're thinking.
Correct. And especially the week before, Wilder knocked out Brazil in the first round. I'm fighting 2 weeks after.
There we go. Wilder knocked out Brazil. If anybody's been listening, I had a feeling that if Wilder knocked out Brazil, that will put pressure on AJ, and it most definitely put pressure on him. He talked about there was an interview where he talked about he knocked out Brazil. There was an interview he did where he said that he sees Wilder knocking out Brazil early, but he hope it doesn't happen because, he felt he doesn't want him to get him out. So basically he knew if Wilder got Brazil out early, pressure would be on him, and I don't think he wanted that. And so basically I could feel one of his main things that caused this upset was absolutely pressure on him, and that's what happened.
So let's go and handle business. Do you know what I mean? If I don't want to let the people down, I could cruise this fight. Yeah. 6 rounds. The beef weren't cooked yet. The beef was still being seasoned.
This round is like one of the most dramatic rounds in the history of boxing. So we have a beautiful right uppercut, left hook.
AJ most definitely has an amazing left hook and a good uppercut, an amazing uppercut. And that's what caught Ruiz. I just don't see him doing that in the next fight just because Ruiz is not the type to let you do that. But if AJ works on those jabs, and he's got a good jab, those jabs are sharp and and they hurt. The way he was hitting Ruiz, his head was bouncing back, you know. What I noticed is Ruiz, his guard is not as good because he's ready to counter. So if he's ready to counter, he's looking. So when AJ throws that fucking jab, it's hitting Ruiz and its head is going back. And Ruiz is looking for a counter, so that's why he has that guard slightly open. And if AJ gets in any close and Ruiz lets off his combos, that's a problem. And that's what I noticed about that fight.
And at that point, it seemed that, okay, you're such a good killer that immediately after...
When AJ knocked out Ruiz, he should have known, I'm going to take my time. I won't let this I won't rush this. But he absolutely rushed this, and this is what caused that fight to be a long-ass fight. Getting concussed.
He gets up, and he's counted to 8. You go off.
That was a flash
Like
knockdown.
a good right hand snaps his head back, and it looks like the right hand's on the wall. We've seen this.
At one point during the fight, AJ had his hand out. AJ's a massive dude. He's big. His arms are long. He had it in front of Ruiz's face. I don't know if anybody's if you're taller than somebody and you have your hands out in front of their face and they can't reach you. And that's what AJ did. But for some reason, he dropped it. His guard, he dropped that hand, dropped his guard, and Ruiz capitalized off that. AJ's downfall.
This, however many times, it looks like it's there. And then it almost seems like on autopilot, he whips out a left hook, roll left hook.
Correct. And the first left hook catches me on the chin, which was fine. Then as he's gone under again, it's...
When AJ was trading with Ruiz, you know, people say AJ's chinny. Absolutely not. He's not chinny. The dude has gotten up from Klitschko, all right? And people call being hit on the fucking temple having a weak chin. Two different things. If you ever been hit on the temple, you are going to feel absolutely like shit. Immediate headache, just like that. And when you turn your head, it hurts. Your neck is going to start hurting. Everything is going to start hurting, you know? And that's what happened. And people call him chinny. Absolutely not, man. That guy, he might get hit with one or two shots and be able to take it. But, you know, after the third shot, getting hit on the chin, you know, it'll bring anybody down. So people say he's chinny. Nah, man. Being chinny is being knocked out. It's Mr. Amir Khan. That's fucking chinny. That's Mr. Glass Jaw.
The one that caught me behind the head, and that's when all systems kind of shut off.
AJ got to the point where he lowered his stance to Ruiz's level and giving Ruiz an open window to his fucking head. Don't forget Ruiz is small. Gave Ruiz an open window, and Ruiz started letting off those combos. Boom, temple. Boom, jaw. Boom, right behind the ear. That was it. Call that a good night. That dropped him.
And at the same time, it's boxing, so
AJ got up.
either going to know how to ride that punch or you're going to suffer the consequences. And from that shot onwards, it was really difficult for me to get back in the fight.
Do you remember how you felt? Because those big...
There's a certain look on him. He knows what he did wrong. AJ has that when he smiles. When they hurt AJ and he smiles, he knows what he did wrong. And he knows He knows exactly what to do, but if he doesn't focus and tries to rush it, he's gonna get hurt again. He's been like that since fucking amateurs.
Big shots. Definitely, like, your head kind of scrambles, your brain's kind of like still trying to recalibrate. Do you remember how it felt?
The fight that I need to fight to beat Ruiz, I should be switched on 100%. And with the shot that I had taken, where I had switched off part of my system, I knew I was fighting at 80%. And I knew that it was just going to be a bit of an uphill struggle. So mentally, I just know that I had to kind of keep myself in the fight and not try and overexert myself. I've been here before with better fighters where it's been a bit of a slugfest. But I always remember after that fight I had with Klitschko, I said I never want to be in a slugfest again because I know how much better I can be. And I found myself in this situation again. And now it's just how do I now try and climb out of this battle again, which is a battle I shouldn't be in against someone like Ruiz in my opinion.
He tries to put some pressure on.
That left hook again.
Yeah. But you did a good job here of holding and just trying to buy yourself some time, but then the trading happens.
Me watching this fight, if AJ's gonna tie up Andy Ruiz, he's gotta tie him up, push him off, give him a push. I say if you don't do that, he's gonna unleash another combo at you. Let's see if you. I'm 100% sure Ruiz is gonna do this in the rematch. You tie him up, you push him.
Did you know at this point that you were hurt?
You can't be trying to trade with Andy Ruiz.
Because sometimes you get stung.
Just the body.
Yeah, and
the
it's
body
not
ain't functioning.
responding
Yeah.
as you know it should.
And that's why when all your blood...
Look at it. AJ got his hand out. And Ruiz is trying to get inside that guard. Get inside to unleash those fucking combos again. His arms are long. He could definitely hold Ruiz back with those. Missing. Ruiz missing.
Your heart rate's high. The event's really coming in, honing in on you. All the pressure starts coming together and you start really realizing and feeling every aspect of your training. I walk in the door, me and your trainers, you're going to say, yeah, he's going to do well. Big, strong, athletic. Now, that's training for the good times because we're looking at all the positives. Now we have to look at every aspect, okay? And at this stage, I could feel because I wasn't now the big guy, strong, that's going to come through and knock everyone out. I was the guy on the back foot. Now I start thinking, damn, I wish I didn't do this. Yeah. Man, I wish I would have done that and I would have felt better in this situation.
We get to the very end of the third round. Yeah. Fatigue obviously sets in, all of this stuff. We go down again, but it's the end of the round. Yeah. So we get to go back to your corner and regroup. At this point, it's a fight. Yeah. And it's in, we are now...
AJ's biggest issue is his stamina. I think he came in too heavy. Absolutely too heavy. That was something he needs to work on, stamina. Being a tall dude in the fight, using your jab for shorter guys, not good for Ruiz, not coming in close, trying to unleash some necessary combos when you don't have to, better footwork, Ruiz is coming to you. No need to lower your stance. No need to drop down your hands. No need to just shoot the jab and just lower your guard and not have your hands up at the same time. Ruiz is looking to counter that, and he's gonna come straight at you. And those were what Anthony Joshua did not do. He did the complete opposite. It's lowering your stance. Everything.
Black and boys. At that moment, is there still a part of you, obviously, that knows, all right, I've been here before.
Yeah, 100%.
I just have to make all...
When I saw this fight, I was like, Jesus Christ, he looks like shit, And I've said it. He He looked better in the Klitschko fight. He's been in way worse situations, you know. And the man said he was all right that night. He was all right that night. There's nothing you could do about it. You know, he's a man of his word, or, you know, he doesn't want to upset his fans. He doesn't want to make excuses. That's the type of guy he is. So, you know, like as a fan, I completely understand that, you know.
Almost a little bit of nothing happened for a little bit, and almost diffuse until I feel strong again. So he comes out after you in the 4th round.
If I were to come out with the same tenacity that I have here, you see what I'm saying? In the 1st round, I'm now 3 or 4 steps behind, trying to catch up. But my engine's fired. Now, if I would have been at the start line, but with the same engine fired, as soon as the bell goes, I would have been 3 or 4 steps ahead. But I didn't have that same. I'm looking at this guy like,
you were so relaxed.
I don't want to be in the ring with Ruiz. They're talking about Wild and Fury. This is Road to Undisputed, not Road to Ruiz. Do you know what I mean? But now I'm on my job to get this 2-time heavyweight championship of the world. I need to get these titles back.
So in a way, you did in the next round, or even the next 2 rounds, I think it was, you did exactly for me what you should do in terms of just keeping him far enough away, but you still haven't recovered fully. Did it get to a point where you felt as if, I'm not sure if I'll ever get back to...
Yeah, but it's cool. I stay in there. I'll be honest with you, I don't know where I am.
You're an
This is
autopilot.
instinct, autopilot. But it's cool.
At that point, do you have that thing where it's just like, all right, we just need to find a way out, and I'm going to find it some way, in terms of I'm going to beat him somehow? Or are you aware that this is going to be like, I'm going to need some kind of miracle because...
I don't know where I am. But all I know is that I'm in a fight, and I've been here before. And every time he's knocked me down, I can get up. Do you know what I mean? It wasn't a problem where I was like flat on my back, where he's hit me with a shot that I just couldn't recover from. So I'm like, all right, just stay in there, keep fighting. This is my fight, stay in there. But my body was like, I was at 40%. Do you know what I mean? I'm not even in a position where I can be like, I'm going to take him out now. It was just a matter of fact to just stay in the fight, keep trading, stay in the fight.
Made sense. And you were still landing some good shots.
But that's what baffles me after the 3rd round. Like, that was, if Ruiz in the same position I was, how I felt in the 3rd round, he wouldn't have made it to the 5th. It took him 7 rounds. That's what baffles me, because I went myself.
Well, I think you still had a very good poker face.
AJ is he's a dude to not disappoint you. He's careful of his words, at the same time he's not careful. Take it as much as you want. He said he wasn't himself. I don't know what that means. Let's just wait for this rematch.
It's because from where I was looking at it, it looked as if you were doing that thing that you did against Klitschko, for example, where you took a little bit, you just stayed until you feel like, okay, like I've got enough in me to go.
Yeah.
And that's what it looked like. It looked like maybe you were just...
Klitschko's fight was a different meaning and feeling to what... I was already where I should have been to fight Klitschko. I was already where I needed to be mentally to fight Klitschko. I've gained more attention and more meaning from losing than I would have by winning to this guy.
And nobody would have thought that Ruiz Jr. would have played such a big part in the AJ story.
Correct.
And now we've got a massive fight on our hands.
A massive fight. Oh man, this fight is going to be huge. I'm hearing it's going to be in Saudi Arabia. I've always said that these guys, they have the money and they got things to back it up, and they bid. The deals that will be made on that day is going to be massive. Ruiz is going to come in there. Ruiz is going to be rich, and Joshua's going to be richer. There's going to be a lot of hate around this fight. I'll tell you that right now. Absolutely. There's going to be a lot of hate. That fight is going to be big, and Ruiz should be thanking Joshua. He should be thanking Joshua. Baby Miller is going to be hating because this should be him. Maybe, maybe not. But this is all fate. This is all fate. It's already written in stone. It was gonna be Andy Ruiz's night, and I gotta say, you gotta thank Andy Ruiz. Gotta thank Joshua, man. He's about to become rich off this fight if it is in Saudi Arabia. That I think it will be in Saudi Arabia. Those guys, those entrepreneurs, the power behind it all are looking to make that fight in Saudi. Saudi is a tourism place. You know, they want more tourism. They want more attention. They want more things over there. You know, so that fight is going to be big and massive.
So you see certain mistakes that you made, but you're still replying with what you should reply with. You know,
at the end of the fight, AJ, you know, he was throwing those jabs to finally keep Andy Ruiz off. But at that point, he was tired. He was fatigued. His head, everything, you know, it was basically almost too late. You know, throwing those jabs were, you know, it was getting even more tired. And Ruiz already smelled blood, and he was just coming in, honing that like a shark, you know.
You're trying to counter his jab with your right hand. And then you land the right hand, go after him. So these rounds for me were pretty even though you were operating at 50%.
Still rolling. What's the
So yeah, I looked.
50% and nothing percent, if you tell me.
That round, I think it was round 5, and I thought, okay, like it looks like.
Boy,
Getting his back.
watch the next time I hit him with a left hook in the next fight.
They could call AJ a Frank Bruno 2.0 or whatever. AJ's himself. He's his own guy. He's a great boxer. I think he's a phenomenal boxer. You know, people hate on him for his style. I don't know why. He's not one of the worst boxers. He might not be as athletic as Wilder might per se, but technical, he's way better than fucking Wilder. That's my opinion of it. He's way better than Wilder on the technical side of it, you know. And these things work for him. Wilder's right hand works for him. So why are we hating on these fighters when these things work for them? It seems like when things work for people, people tend to hate on it. And I don't know why. You know, there's no such thing as bad publicity. And people are hating, talking about Anthony Joshua all over the site. That's just promoting AJ to me, you know. Whenever they talk about AJ, Wilder's right behind it, you know. So as much as you guys hate him, he's going to be there. He's going to be the talk, you know. He's bringing in the big bucks for these guys. These guys want him. Usyk wants him in Wembley Stadium, O2 Stadium. He's already calling them out. They know how much money is coming when they fight AJ. They know. And these people are talking bad about him. Why? He brings in way more people than fucking Wilder. That's a fact.
Shot that I just couldn't recover from. So I'm like, all right, just stay in there. Keep fighting. This is my fight. Stay in there. But my body was like, I was at 40%. Do you know what I mean? I'm not even in a position where I can be like, I'm going to take him out now. It was just a matter of fact to just stay in the fight. Keep trading, stay in the fight.
He shouldn't trade.
Landing some good shots.
But that's what baffles me.
That's that jab. Boof. Got him.
Like, that was
that long ass reach.
I was, how I felt in the first.
Andy Ruiz slightly leaves himself open because he needs to see. He can't really protect himself as much. He needs to see when AJ's throwing those punches, and he's getting ready to counter. If Andy Ruiz is not in a good proximity, and AJ throws his jab, he won't be able to reach AJ. You know, and he has his guard open, and if he's in a good proximity, there's a chance he's gonna do it. And AJ's gonna throw those jabs and get past his guard.
Third round, he wouldn't have made it to the fifth.
It seems to be two boxers with no problems.
Yeah.
That's what
Let's
it
skip
means.
ahead.
Box knows that they
rattle the body.
Yeah,
they rattle the body, yeah.
See, and when you're in the corner and the ref's talking to you, and you've kind of got a smile on your face.
So like my gum shoulder's out on the floor. Okay? So I've walked back to the corner and he's counting, and I think he's still in the count. So he's like, walk forward. So I've walked 2 steps forward, and he's holding my belt, and then he's kind of pushed my belt back. So I put my arms on the ropes.
We can debate this all night. Everybody can debate this. I don't think he quit. The ref waved it off, you know. If the ref waves off every other fighter, Duran quit. He literally quit. AJ, he didn't quit. You know, people say he quit, but I don't think he quit. If the ref was the one who waved it off, not AJ, he didn't say I quit. You could debate this as much as you want, but I don't care. I don't think he quit, you know.
I thought he was going to put my gum shield in my mouth, or you call your corner over to Richard. I've been in boxing for a long time. And then straight after that situation, where he's pushed me back in the corner, he just called off the fight. But my gum shield's not in my mouth, so if you haven't put the gum shield in my mouth and asked me if I'm ready to fight, how can you call off a fight when the person isn't fully... It's like telling someone he can't fight, but he's only got one glove on. You haven't given him the chance to fight, to call a fight off. And that was the whole point of it, is like, for me, is, even though it's an uphill struggle, I'm going to always get up and be in his face. Even though I'm struggling, I just wanted to get up and just kind of stay in as long as I could. I'd rather have gone out on my back than the referee calling it off, but he has a job to do, and we respect that. And that's just how I felt about the stoppages. You should have put the gum shield in my mouth.
It's weird because it looked, you looked relatively fine.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember like, when he called it off, everyone was just like, huh?
Yeah.
Which means obviously you looked fine.
Relatively fine.
Relatively fine, although it's not how you felt. You
But
were
but for me, you know what it is?
gracious.
Yeah, you got to be humbling defeat.
Congratulations to Andy Ruiz on that fight again. That was an amazing fight. The way he showcased his skills, and, you know, the doubters out there, that was, man, that feeling must have been amazing for Andy. I can't... That's something I wish I could get to one day, you know, not boxing, just in my career-wise, or, you know, in something I want to try to achieve, you know. And AJ has a lot, to work on, you know. At the end of the fight, when I saw his face, it's like, damn, that face that AJ had on us, it was like a damn face. I know what I did, and fuck, I can't believe this happened. That kind of face, you know. And the rematch is going to say a lot about AJ. It's going to say a lot about Andy. It's going to say a lot in general, you know. And may the best man win. Obviously, I'm rooting for AJ, and I hope he comes out victorious. If you guys like what I put out, and I'm definitely going to put out better content, way better than this. Unfortunately, I can't really go show my face like that because of the work I do, but I do definitely enjoy boxing, and I hope to put out more content in the near future, you know, tomorrow or anytime I hear some good news. If you guys like it, please hit that like button, subscribe, let me hear your thoughts and comments, anything about the upcoming rematch that's most likely will be in Saudi Arabia. You know, I don't see it being anywhere else besides there. If it is, I'm surprised. And let's see what you guys say. Like and share. Hit the subscribe button. Thanks for listening, and have a good day, guys.